You know, when I make these videos, I'm not going to lie. Here and there, I do kind of get worried that there might be a response video. Because even though, I know that I have 1,000 subscribers and whatnot, and I've had some interesting replies in my comments. I don't really know how well I can actually handle fame, to be honest with you. I've thought about it, but yeah, I'm just making this video because I was having a little bit of a thought experiment, and you know, a lot of things in society, for whatever strange reason, get grouped together. What am I talking about? Well, for one thing, I'm talking about this woke ideology. What do I mean by woke? A lot of morons will actually ask me that question. What do you mean by woke? Well, to put it simply, what I mean by woke is I am talking about these, I guess you could say, these liberal arguments that are made in the name of justice, but at their core principle are logical fallacies. An example of this could be, this whole diversity and inclusion. How they try to say that we want to be more diverse and inclusive, and we want to treat people of color better, because they deserve to be treated better or something like that. Like we don't live in a country where a lot of this stuff is frowned upon. And if we wanted to dive into that case, basically what these people are doing is they're kind of giving they're feeding people a victim mindset, people of other races a victim mindset. And whether people like to think about it this way or not, it is actually the leftist agenda is somewhat of a white supremacist agenda, and people just don't have the brains to see through it. Oftentimes, when it comes to liberal ideas and exaggerated claims, people, for whatever reason, think veganism is one of those things. They group it in with one of the logical fallacies, that exist with all this other woke crap. They say that vegans are low testosterone, vegans are weak, vegans are hypocrites because they kill animals too. And I think not only is that idea a logical fallacy, but a lot of people in general, including vegans, I think are not really making the vegan argument. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is every animal technically dies at some point. Everything dies. Vegans being upset that animals die, I can understand that. If it is in fact true that we are opportunist omnivores, quote unquote, which is just another way of saying that we're creatures that behave as if we're omnivores, but that's not to say that we don't have a physiology that actually runs on other things like fruits and vegetables. It actually works better on those things in many aspects. That's why we're referred to as frugivorous. But if that's what we are, one might say that why kill? Killing is wrong. If we don't have to kill, and we could eat our plants and our fruits and stuff, that that seems about right. But for some reason that argument is not strong. It's not strong enough for some people, because there's a lot of people who are not going to believe it. They're not going to believe we're frugivores. They're not going to believe that we're something like that. And I got to thinking, these people saying, if cows don't get milk, they're going to die. And chickens lay eggs because, if you don't eat the eggs, then they're going to go bad, and crappy stuff like that. But if you really think about it, that's just it, isn't it? That's it. That's the real vegan argument. Animal agriculture is not natural. It is not healthy. And one of the worst things about it is not even that we kill the animals. It's that we mutilated them genetically. We mutated them genetically for our gain, for our twisted, demented pleasure. We've fucked with a chicken's period cycle to the point that they lay eggs sometimes dozens of eggs that are unfertilized. We've fucked with cows to the point where if they get diddled, even if they don't get fertile, whether they get fertilized or not, if they get fucking diddled by a male cow, right? They will fucking swell up with milk and will die if we don't milk them. They live miserable fucking lives because of us, and we keep them in those cages. So now when people say vegans kill animals too, it hits differently, doesn't it? These people who claim that vegans don't have the moral right because they kill animals too. But there's a hell of a difference between genetically mutilating an animal for hundreds and hundreds of years and continuing that cycle going on, to fuck with their genes in thousands of ways. There's a difference between that and then making them have a miserable fucking death, if you've seen the videos. And just maybe killing a couple rodents because they got in your crops or something. And on top of it, that's not really a vegan argument, is it? If people try to claim that, but you kill rodents when they get in your crops, I mean, if we came up with the right things, we could probably prevent that from happening. It's an oxymoron, and it's not understanding the true essence of veganism to begin with, which is to slowly introduce less and less harm to the point where eventually no harm is done. So ultimately, True veganism is the creation of a vegan world where things don't have to be fucking exploited. Do you see the difference? When you look at it that way, instead of looking at it through woke goggles or looking at it through, conservative, manly, meat-eating goggles, I gotta eat my goddamn meat. By the way, I borrowed this motherfucker from those bonobos. Those creatures that mostly eat goddamn fruit. Yeah. It's just what I've been thinking. I mean, maybe vegans are right, but they're making the wrong goddamn arguments.